written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you gotta see this guy. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said. This is 14 years ago. They didn't do a retraction.
As you can see right there, he suffers from a chronic condition that impairs movement of his arm.
His supporters will deny it. But Donald Trump is a national embarrassment. The rest of the world is looking at the United States like a disturbing version of reality TV with nuclear weapons, led by someone who's incompetent, emotionally unstable, and mentally unhinged. It's embarrassing to know that a big part of the day for other world leaders is getting updates on the irrational Twitter behavior of the person living in charge of the United States. Except that's the reality in which we're currently living. All things considered, I think Trump's outrageous Twitter meltdown last Saturday might be the true beginning of the end of his administration. It's one thing for him to push conspiracies about voter fraud, but it's quite another to publicly accuse a former president of the United States of illegally monitoring a presidential candidate during an election, especially when his rant seems tied to a Breitbart article, which was based on comments from conspiracy theorist Mark Levin, who accused Barack Obama of being part of a coup against Trump. That's a big deal, but here's why I think this could very well be the beginning of the end. Number one, if Trump truly believes this, he must immediately order investigations into this matter or admit he's incompetent and push a conspiracy that wasn't true. What Trump did on Saturday was endorse a radical conspiracy that accuses Obama of being the mastermind of a diabolical and highly illegal shadow government. As the leader of this country, if he believes that's true, then he must order extensive investigations into these extremely serious accusations. Otherwise, he needs to admit that he fell for a ridiculous, factless conspiracy, and his incompetence makes him unfit for office. What he can't do is continue to make this claim but do nothing about it. Number two, you're seeing more Republicans speaking out against Trump. The one benefit Trump has had thus far has been the cowardly reluctance by many members of his own party, especially those in Congress, to speak out against him. However, we're now seeing more members of the GOP doing just that. I think he's finally reached a point where we're going to see an increased number of Republicans realizing that defending him is a lost cause. Number three, he's forced Congress to do something after they spent weeks trying to avoid doing anything. Because many of the Russia-related allegations against Trump have been based on media reports, congressional Republicans have mostly been able to sidestep calls to hold investigations into whether or not he might have committed treason. They can't do that now. This isn't Trump fabricating conspiracies about his 3 million popular vote loss to Hillary Clinton. Saturday's Twitter tantrum was the President of the United States publicly endorsing a conspiracy that claims Barack Obama illegally bypassed the FISA court, unilaterally ordering surveillance of Trump Tower. If true, this demands investigations unlike anything we've ever seen. Everyone in Obama's administration, the Justice Department, CIA, NSA, FBI, they'd all have to be investigated. We would need to know who carried out an illegal order, who covered it up, and who could still be, quote-unquote, working for Obama. Which means congressional Republicans can't dismiss this as a Democrat witch hunt. This was their party's leader publicly accusing a former president of a crime bigger than Watergate. If Republicans brush this off like they did his conspiracy about billions of illegal votes, then they're admitting he's lying and is a national disgrace for trying to blatantly slander his predecessor. Trump has put members of his own party in the position to either side with him on this outrageous lie, or publicly admit that he's a crazy person who believes internet conspiracies from sources that aren't remotely credible. Either way, they now have to do something, and I believe more than just a few are going to realize that supporting Trump is a sinking ship that's no longer worth trying to keep afloat. Number 4. If this does lead to an investigation, a lot of the information relating to Trump's ties to Russia, including his tax returns, could become public knowledge. Any push for an investigation into Trump's attack on Obama would certainly lead to a record number of subpoenas. This would ultimately require people to testify, publicly, about what evidence they have that Trump or his associates have ties to Russia. This could lead to a court order requiring Trump to turn over tax documents if there is evidence, as some have alleged, that Putin has compromised him by using financial leverage as blackmail. Once you go down the path of investigations, it's not a one-sided affair. Donald Trump won't be able to control most of the information that would be made public, nor could he block judicial orders with which he doesn't want to comply. If this is the rabbit hole he wants to go down, I don't think he's going to like where it ends up. And finally, number 5, if Trump's rant is based on actual surveillance of people associated with him, he just publicly confirmed the FISA court was presented with enough evidence to approve the warrant. For the sake of argument, let's say Trump's rant was based on his misunderstanding of the legalities concerning a legitimate warrant approving the surveillance of Trump Tower. The only way for that to have occurred, without the illegal act of Barack Obama personally ordering it, would have been for U.S. intelligence officials to present the FISA court with credible enough evidence to issue the warrant to bug Trump Tower. It's very possible that this surveillance could have taken place. However, because Trump's too ignorant to know that it was carried out legally by way of a FISA court-approved warrant, his rant essentially confirms that there are ongoing investigations into whether or not there was collusion between his campaign and the Russian government. Nothing like spending months calling any allegations that his campaign has ties to Russia fake news, to then confirm the legitimacy of the investigations because you're naive enough to buy into a conspiracy concerning legal U.S. intelligence surveillance. While this is obviously a story that's not going away anytime soon, Donald Trump's rant on Saturday might be the first real sign that the end of his administration is near.